Hey hun, why do trees hate riddles?
Why do trees hate riddles?
They're afraid they get stumped.
Hi, and welcome to Suburban Life Permaculture. We're so happy you're here with us today. I'm Holly, and today we're going to talk about the different layers that you'll find in the permaculture food forest. And we're going to do that while we add some wonderful plants to that food forest. When it comes to food forest layers, you're going to find there's a lot of variations out there. My preference is to go with the basic 7 food forest layers. So that's what we'll talk about today. What we just did is we dug this hole a few inches around what the size of the pot is. And then we put a whole bunch of compost. I went ahead and I watered that in because it's been really dry. So I wanted to make sure I had plenty of moisture down there with all of that. And then I set the plant in and went ahead and put the sand that we grow in here, we put that around it, and went ahead and put some mulch around it. We're out of wood chips, so I just grabbed some leaf litter, which we have a bunch of. And here we have our new Pakistani mulberry. And now what I'm going to do is just go ahead and water that in. Of course, with stuff that we have collected. And that mulch should keep it cooler and keep that moisture in. Just like that. This is an elderberry, and this belongs to the shrub layer. And what I also did here is I made a little trench, so it's almost like a donut. And the whole idea there is to try to hold that moisture here right close to where the plant can get the most benefit of it. All right, on to the next. We're just loosening the tree from the pot and tickle the roots a little bit before we put it in its new home. All right, what do I mean when I say tickling the roots? So that some people say tickling, some people say teasing. I've said both. When we did the strawberry tower, I said teasing, and I remember when I went nanny noo. And then you can also say tickling. So basically what you're doing is loosening those roots so they have this chance to start going out in all directions and put a firmer foundation in there for the plant, as well as being able to take up more nutrition, which of course is ultimately the best thing for the plant. This next one is a strawberry tree, and in particular we chose a yellow one because it can sometimes keep the birds away. Not that it keeps them away, but the birds aren't as likely to go ahead and eat all that fruit. When they're yellow, they prefer the red one, so that should keep more of it for us. And this is a rosemary plant or bush, and that's in the herbaceous layer, although if it gets really huge, it can technically also be part of the shrub layer. And what I'm going to do here is give it a little bit of a haircut so that it can reduce the shock. And I did that with, not haircut wise, but I took off some of the leaves of the others, so hopefully to reduce some of that shock that they'll get with transplantation. So I'm just going to go through here, and the really cool thing is, besides the shock, is guess what? We get some good fresh, and it smells so yummy. And this is our Barbados Cherry. Really looking forward to that. And next is another Pakistani mulberry. Finally, we have this fig. It's an Olympian fig. I don't have a great track record with figs, so crossing our fingers. The trees we've talked about, at least in relation to what our food forest garden is going to be, were all understory trees. What we're looking at here, this is going to be an upper canopy tree. This is that longevity spinach we've talked about. This is in the ground cover layer. Our Muscadine grape, and you've seen that in another couple of videos, and that is part of our vine layer. We actually have several plants that will be part of that vine layer, and some of the ground covers will serve both purposes. They can be a ground cover as well as a vine layer. What we have right here is our purple yam, and that is a ground cover, or when it's climbing, it's that vine layer, and as a third stacked function, it has a root layer, because we can also harvest the yams. And if you're wondering about flowers like this goldenrod here, this is Chapman's goldenrod, that's also in the herbaceous layer. What type of plants and in what type of layer are you adding to your food forest garden this year? Let us know in the comments below. And I don't care if you like, subscribe, or share, although we do appreciate it when you do. Carpe diem, y'all.